LCS Summer 2024 kickoff day. We have been enjoying a brutal battle so far between Team Liquid and FlyQuest, and it's going all the way to game number 3. Now, game number 1 was a bloodbath. It was back and forth. Both teams were picking up teeth from the ring by the end of it. Game number 2 was a Skarner fest. It was a Karthus fest. It was FlyQuest just smacking Team Liquid around. But now TL's back on the blue side.
Hey, red side, look at that. Our favorite little Scorpion buddy.
Yeah,
makes a return.
He's not going to be... FlyQuest had this figured out from game 1. They were like, nope, we're not letting you play him. It's not going to happen. Kasante's still banned away. This ban list is looking very much like game number 1 when these two teams were on these same sides.
One thing that I do applaud TL for, because this has been an issue for their backline members, for APA and for Yeon, has been the long range that FlyQuest keep investing in their drafts.
Yeah.
The Senna ban here, denying the Senna ban also denies, you know, this Ornn that Busio's been spamming as a partner to it. You can still play Ornn if you want to, but it would have to probably be in the top lane. So it effectively gets rid of a lot of these issues. I think that things like Senna and Ornn Ultimate and Karthus Ultimate, these things that have massive range and can get to your backline, have been really problematic for TL's ability to come back in these sorts of games.
And when you're talking about that same kind of stuff, like an equalizer does a similar type of job, right? You threaten the back line, it forces space. We saw Bwipo play this Rumble in game number 1. It honestly didn't look great, but now we're gonna see how Team Liquid can pilot it instead. You mentioned the Senna being banned out for Team Liquid. FlyQuest also gonna make an adjustment, removing Maokai from the options. UmTi already played it in both games previously. They don't want him playing it again.
And they slammed Nidalee, baby.
This was banned from Inspired. Remember, in the previous game, this is what Team Liquid chose to ban instead of that Skarner. So clearly they respect the Inspired Nidalee, and FlyQuest is going to lock it in first instead.
They've been doing this, a lot of the LCK, especially, across the world, all junglers that like Nidalee have, ever since MSI, have been like, you know what? We got the go light. Canyon said, everybody go to town. Everyone's allowed to play Nidalee. And funnily enough, we actually have a lot of Nidalee players in the LCS. So I was expecting this to be a pretty high priority for actually a lot of our LCS teams. And now we're actually going to see it taken onto the Rift instead of just bans here in the hands of Inspired. This is another very, very high tempo, quick farming, quick invading AP option here for Inspired. This is, and can be much more oppressive than a Karthus can, at least for the early stages. Does not scale necessarily as well, although the heal was buffed and does have a lot more options later on to the game than previous iterations of Nidalee did. But I will say it's pretty bold of UmTi to go with the Sejuani into the Nidalee, because it definitely is one of the matchups, especially for solo queue, that you usually try and avoid, because the Nidalee can get such high prio with the farming, counter jungling you, and it really makes the Sejuani have to make a lot of team plays. You're already looking to do that as a Sejuani anyway, but now you really do need to make those high value, and you have to watch every single camp. Nidalee's coming for those invades, coming for those camps.
Well, we got the Leona also locked in here for FlyQuest. So Busio still going to be playing a tanky engaged champion, but not quite with the range of that Ornn that we saw in the past couple of games. Rakan is the ban from FlyQuest.
Bucket. I also really respect bringing back the pagoda toga, the patoga there that Raz was styling. Very nice LCS merch on display here.
Gotta love the patogas. But FlyQuest banning out that Rakan, like I'm talking about, if you look at Team Liquid, they got some strong team fighting, but right now, the only real hard engage is the Sejuani ultimate, and those are actually pretty easy to sidestep if the Sejuani's not throwing them out of fog or something. So they want to prevent more of that snap, massive AoE engage from something like a Rakan, getting rid of the Seraphine, trying to prevent a similar thing. Team Liquid's going to take out the Kalista. They don't want to be dealing with some sort of crazy, massively oppressive bottom lane, so that's not going to be an option. Final ban of the draft coming in here in just a couple seconds more. Will it be another marksman? Are they afraid of what is going to be paired with this Leona? No, they are going to take out the Ziggs instead.
APA banning the Ziggs just feels wrong. Even he, though, as he's already got his hands on the Corki, and they take that possibility out there. I mean, Tristana can move around, obviously flexible. APA as well. I mean, bot laners have been playing Ziggs as well. With Leona, it's always been one of these kill comps, these explosion comps. So a couple of flexible options covered there from the Team Liquid side. Meanwhile, will we get the lock-in here? Jhin is a very controversial champion. Even with the buffs, a lot of players really have a fond tendency for calling Jhin useless, or ironically Mr. Useful because of the inability to kill tanks, but with a Corki on the team was a possibility because your armor shred can work for both, and then you can go the bursty option, but they decide we don't want to deal with that at all. We will just focus on no problem. Yeon will kill anything and everything later in the game. We have already seen the re-emergence of Zeri, and the pentakills have started coming in. Pei's got himself one as well. So we get our own version here. It is going to be the Zeri and the Corki behind, kind of that beefy frontliner you were talking about of the Sejuani and the Alistar. Yep, with plenty of magic damage coming from Impact. So pretty smooth composition from Team Liquid. Meanwhile, a lot of curveballs here from FlyQuest. Yeah. Throwing the Sett down on top of it into the Rumble matchup here. Quite interesting. Now, see if we get some of the extra pressure here.
The thing that I'm looking at on the side of Team Liquid is the fact that, remember back into all the previous Zeri metas, there was like a whole year where we were in hell, so there's a lot to remember. This champion loves pairing with enchanters, right? Zeri Lulu, Zeri Yuumi. Like whenever you saw her, she always had a buddy that was making sure she could hyper carry. This time around, yeah, Alistar can peel. Yeah, Alistar can also be an engage, but he doesn't have that just sit in Zeri's pocket type of gameplay that allows him to become a super hyper carry instead of just a hyper carry. So I want to see how Yeon can pilot this, how he can survive without just a dedicated peel bot to help him, because I think Core is going to be responsible for a lot of these engages, a lot of this playmaking for TL, as he usually is.
Definitely agree. Our first critical game 3.
Let's do it.
Everything coming down to this. And this is one of our premier matchups too. TL and FlyQuest. Last spring, our finals matchup, our two MSI representatives. And throwing down so early in summer season, which is going to be filled with best of threes between these teams. Again, the single round robin though, so got to make this one count. This very big matchup, which people expect. We saw a lot of the tier lists at the beginning of the day too, from not only the analyst S, but us as well as a lot of community members. Everybody pretty much having both FlyQuest and Team Liquid fairly high on the rankings. So expect them to end the season quite strongly as well. And we'll take a look here as CoreJJ is going to go for a little bit of a delay move here on Alistar, hovering around mid. Meanwhile, over the ward goes Bwipo and Inspired.
Over the ward and through the brush to the enemy jungler we go.
Going to go for the trap here.
Looks like
bottom lane's just leashing. Lane's just leashing there. Trying to get the Sejuani accelerated versus Nidalee. I do like that. Have both your bottom lanes add a little bit of damage. Nidalee aggressive clearing is always an issue, and they are also splitting the map for this Bwipo counter pick. Bwipo is a guy who's known for lots of less popular counter picks. More niche style picks, and UmTi's going to try and make sure that Inspired can't fully split the map for that matchup.
Yeah, UmTi still has his smite as well. The Inspired already used his to clear away the blue buff, so UmTi just has total priority over securing this large wolf, so Inspired's just immediately going to give it up, head back into his own jungle instead. And yeah, UmTi, honestly, the only thing that he lost was one little baby wolf and the blue buff. He's not feeling too terrible about that, considering the state of the matchup in general.
Yeah, definitely so. The defensive vision giving them, obviously, that info so he can't come crossover. And Rumble pushing on the Sett early, as Impact was able to push out on the wave, since Bwipo was helping steal the blue away. And now UmTi coming up here as well. So Impact has been roasting Bwipo ever since Bwipo helped steal the blue and tried to walk back up the lane. Yeah. Plus, benefit of Rumble is you get to simultaneously push the wave UmTi, though, went over Vision, so the info is there for FlyQuest and Sett, making use of some regeneration there under tower to at least keep himself a little bit healthy. The outplay potential on Sett is quite big.
Yeah. Haymaker is huge.
With Flash available too. Let's see about it though. Looks like they're going to go for this play.
Oh, but Busio is ready to reinforce. Bwipo should definitely be able to hang on long enough to stay alive here. Haymaker with the shield, immediately followed up with a face breaker as Busio's Zenith Blade forces the enemy jungler to stay within range long enough for the extra turret shot to pick him up. It's a 1-for-1 trade here in the top lane.
So, while that is eye-catching, I also want to draw your eyeball to the bottom side of the map.
Okay, both of them are just one.
You're making me pause. You know what? I was going to talk about Nidalee, but let's go over the Flower's ability to split his vision as well as his cognitive load, I would assume. I'm going to say cognitive.
Cognitive.
What your brain is thinking about.
Yeah.
I don't know what the heck is everyone else. Anyways. Slow reactions here.
Busio flash Zenith Blade into the top lane as Impact tries to get away, but Bwipo's ready for another one of those phase breakers, haymakers. It's FlyQuest 2-1.
Anyways, back to Nidalee farming. So
yeah, let's talk about Nidalee farming.
Nidalee is really good at farming and is going to be able to clean the rest of the
farming cognitively.
It's a fairly commonly used term. Is going to be able to finish up the blue quadrant there, Flowers, and they get off the recall.
Yes, very important. Got to make sure you're pathing well in the jungle on these hyper farmers like a Nidalee, as Impact still has control over the top lane.
Guess what?
What's up?
It's going to be 2 extra divers coming to join. CoreJJ is on the warpath.
Oh boy, Bwipo's level 3 versus level 5 on Impact. Finally hitting level 4 here, but now he's got to be careful. Goes for the immediate phase breaker, gets himself back away, saving the haymaker. Now there's enough distance, you would think he can hopefully just walk this off, but it's a lot of minions he's going to lose anyway. He doesn't have a TP, he doesn't want to give up the death. Inspired's coming up to help him now. Meanwhile, in the bottom lane, FlyQuest, they're thinking about maybe making a dive here. They got Massu, they got Busio. Bwipo still just has to watch outside of experience range as all these waves melt to the turret. This is absolute nightmare material for a top laner as Yeon just glides away there on the wall. He's going to make sure that he escapes from Busio and Massu, but again, he's kind of getting the same sort of treatment that that Bwipo is up in the top side, as both sides are just picking a lane to bully.
And it looks like they're not done with it. CoreJJ allows Yeon to get back in, though. The bodyguard has arrived to bottom lane. The escort, CoreJJ, does get him up to the wave. But your cost is, again, your jungle camps.
Yep.
The terror of every solo queue matchup of Nidalee versus Sejuani is realizing itself here on your screen, as Inspired was able to take away the Raptors as well this time.
And you saw Inspired just jumped in there. Yeah, he jumped in, he took one turret shot, but the reason he did it was to grab the quick Dark Harvest proc off of the Corki, just guarantee that he gets a little bit of extra power there on his Keystone. I like the choice. You're Nidalee, you can spam heals and make sure that the turret shot doesn't matter anyway. Plus, it's not like you're really scared of a 1v1 with that enemy jungler if you run into him. I don't really think that Nidalee players have to care too much about Sejuani, and Inspired's going to go ahead, start up this first Drake of the game, 6.5 minutes in. Not quite on spawn, but still a pretty early timer overall. The Void Grubs are active on the other side of the map, if that's what TL wants to go for, but it looks like there will be no contest here for the first Drake.
If you ever wondered who would win between a fight between a cougar and a pig, wonder no longer.
Oh, wow. You know, I've been pondering that for years now.
Yep, there you go. League of Legends finally delivering those hard-hitting answers to the questions you've been wondering your whole life, Flowers.
Thank you, League of Legends.
We don't need to do one of those like virtual fights that they try to do.
Oh yeah, like one of those like Ultimate Warrior, but it's
like dinosaur versus gorilla or whatever. No, we don't need to do that for the cougar versus.
I'm pretty sure I know who wins in dinosaur versus gorilla, man.
I guess it depends on what dinosaur you pick.
Yeah, I mean, if you pick one of the little tiny scrittery lizard things, that's gonna lose. But like a T-Rex versus a gorilla. Yeah. I don't know if that one's particular. I feel like that might be a Nidalee versus Sejuani matchup. Like, yeah, see, we're making analogies now. We're on the same page here.
I like it. Guess what? Nidalee's on the bottom side of the map. I really thought he was going to go for red quadrant invade, but I guess because bottom lane is pushing, he's doubling back to go protect his red quadrant.
Yep.
as there has been so much TL focus on the top side of the map. Sejuani's level 6 though, and Sejuani's just trying to play with the team. Honestly, this is not that bad for UmTi. Especially if he gets
Nice! Arctic
Wow.
Assault into the flash to guarantee the interrupt on the rocket jump, but Quad buffers through the Glacial Prison stun. As long as you've got that timing on Tristana, this champion is so hard to lock down. I don't think UmTi really could have played it any better, but Quad responds in kind. It costs his flash, it costs his ulti, but he gets away.
Yep, honestly, well played by both sides there. Quad staying cool, getting his buffer off. Meanwhile, that Sejuani showing in mid lane did allow Inspired to finish off clearing through the top side, although it is over vision, as Impact and the rest of TL have done a good job keeping up their wards up there. But yeah, honestly, pretty good defense being played here in mid lane throughout. After Quad now had his flash burned, you know, Busio also showing up to match the CoreJJ roam, so
Yeah.
there's not this big support difference. You never want your mid laner crying to you like that.
No, sir.
Don't worry, I'm here too. We protect.
Well, you know, I'm looking at the scoreboard right now, and the differences are pretty much all up there in that top lane. Impact has 67 farm, and Bwipo has 31. APA forced to flash here in the mid lane as Busio came around trying to make a move on him. The Leona Zenith Blade not going to connect because of the summoner spell being spent. But yeah, the top lane is over a 1,000 gold lead in Team Liquid's favor. Bwipo is so far behind the curve of the game right now. He's got his Swifty boots, and that's it. So this set is going to need some time to catch back up.
Yeah, that gold lead, it more than makes up for the gold deficits on the bottom side of the map for FlyQuest there. So, I mean, that's the massive lead. It's all of the investment from Team Liquid.
Yep.
They put all their ganks up there, or at least the majority of their ganks up there. Splashed a little bit mid as well, but investing a lot in the Rumble early, in Impact. Plus, it's always worth noting, this is, even though this is nerfed First Strike on this patch, we are on live patch, of course. They took down the early stages a little bit. First Strike is still quite good at getting you a decent amount of gold generation.
Oh yeah, money feels great in League of Legends, turns out. As Bwipo is not about to feel great in League of Legends. That is a lot of damage coming down pretty fast. Oh, he tried to flash to go for the angle there on the face breaker. Impact steps away. Bwipo gets his haymaker, but it ain't gonna matter. I see what Bwipo wanted, but Team Liquid saw the same, and they didn't let him have it.
Yeah, and they didn't have to burn flashes in order to do it. So just a little bit of fancy footwork there from Impact. Bwipo was slowed and flashed, then just kind of the walk around there. Those are the worst ones where you're so sad because not only do you die and you get outplayed and you lose your giant wave, big wave up there on the tower in the minimap, but also you lost your flash in trying to outplay it, and then they still are able to get the play off, and you're going to feel bad about the misplay. Inspired here just finds the Sejuani, but can't get locked down. Pretty easy for him.
And UmTi building that Zeke's Convergence, I believe, is the name of the item. Very, very
It's so good.
popular choice for junglers right now. It costs 2,200 gold total. You're getting 25 of both resist. You're getting 300 health, and you're getting ability haste. It's pretty much everything a tank jungler wants.
Yeah, and I, for one, am glad that they gave us a low econ jungle option. They took the mana off it, which makes it so good for jungle.
Yeah, we don't need mana anyway. Bwipo's in some
dead.
trouble. He goes back in for the ulti, trying to turn it around. Bwipo gets away. The Sett ends up living. UmTi trying to lock down Inspired, but it ain't gonna work. There ain't enough damage there from Sejuani. Bwipo's got grit, and APA gets hit.
I like that. Nice work in there. Sett heals back up afterwards too. Meanwhile, the pressure continues. I mean, kind of rough to keep on going for it here. CoreJJ is walking around like they're positioning to at least push them off, deny them access to the wave. So still gonna get grub here, as well as still get some tower plate money for Impact. So Bwipo living is very good for FlyQuest there.
Yes.
And it's not the end of the world, but TL still got turret plate money for Impact, pushing them off, and are going to be able to collect what I assume will be all 6 scrubs.
Yeah.
As Busio's on vision and Nidalee already left the area. So they will have that split pushing option. They will have that turret killing power of the double Void Might spawn.
Well, we've got first items coming online across the board. Not just that low econ first item for the Sejuani like we were talking about, but Impact has his Liandry's. APA just bought his Trinity Force. Kraken Slayer is up for quad, and I already commented earlier during Game 1 about how this just feels like such a great ball of stats for these ranged auto attackers to buy first. There's your Static Shiv on Zeri, role player item plus also good. And opportunity for Varus. This has been a favorite for lethality Varus builds, just having that extra burst of lethality, plus the move speed if you get a kill, especially for a champion that doesn't normally have any extra disengages, it can help you reposition for the rest of the fight.
Yeah, 100%. Meanwhile, FlyQuest keep up their dragon stacking ways, Flowers. They're going to be able to get number 2 for themselves, while topside, they don't like to think about topside. Yep, topside's been on fire for a while. They did get a nice little bonus with Bwipo being able to live last time around, but still going to lose the tower up there. That thing was going to be gone regardless. And instead, they make a cross-map play for themselves and try to pick up most of mid. Yeon there, though, I mean, when you get all 6 grubs, that early, I think he should be able to get a turret plate in mid. Meanwhile, AP's got 10 seconds here to work off another turret plate, bottom 2. Ooh, Yeon's not going to get that extra wave up there, so bottom side, though, APA does get.
He's got 1 more second. Nice! Got the third plate with 1.5 seconds to spare. Team Liquid at a 2,000 gold lead, 14 minutes in. 9 plates to 4. That's an extra 650 gold. Just chilling. You're feeling great about it.
Tax-free gold.
Hell yeah. Now, Quad and the rest of FlyQuest, they're deciding they're going to interrupt this topside control that Liquid has had for most of this game so far. TL looking to respond, but I don't know if they're going to be here in time. Impact might just find the equalizer. There it is, the engage, locking down Massu. Impact wants to make his way into the fight. Massu's still burning. CoreJJ staying alive here with the Alistar ulti as Yeon's lightning crash finds the first, and FlyQuest is scrambling to escape. Impact's going to be the target now as Busio tries to turn it around here with the Zenith Blade. Bwipo wants to make his escape, but it ain't going to matter. Yeon finds another. Quad drops next. Double kill of it to Zeri. FlyQuest collapses, and Team Liquid are the ones breaking ankles.
And again, Flowers, that was a 4v5. APA was split pushing the whole time on Corki with no teleport available. They just engaged the 4v5 and decimate FlyQuest. That is so massive. Yeon is going to go crazy on the Zeri now. Solo tower gold plus the kills. Team Liquid just blew this game wide open. Look at this engage. Sejuani and Rumble from so far away. Sejuani and Rumble are both a full screen away. That Sejuani engage and then CoreJJ with the combo to keep them on the Rumble ultimate. That was beautiful. This is just beautiful. Textbook team fight from Team Liquid. 4v5. Absolutely outplayed FlyQuest the entire time, allowing Yeon to just clean up on all this beautiful work setup from the other Team Liquid
he's yapping.
members.
He's yapping. He wasn't even in the fight, but he's yapping.
I like how we got the over-the-shoulder pop there. To
First person yap. What are you doing?
It's funny because APA literally just was PvE that whole time.
Yeah.
His team did all the work. Now, so he's like, you know what? I got you guys. I'll back you up with the trash talk and the split push. No hands needed for taking the tower.
FlyQuest, I'll save you the time right now. About 14 minutes and 30 seconds into the game. That's the bookmark you want when you start off the VOD review for this one. Because when you're going back and looking, yeah, it was a Team Liquid advantage for the early game, but that one just absolutely blew the barn doors off of it.
I mean, that is one where we would take the replay and do like a beautiful drawing of the position of Team Liquid on both sides, because not only the positioning and then the long range ults, those two members right in the middle, pincer movement with the Rumble ult on top, and then CoreJJ immediately following it up, getting maximum burn damage and allowing freedom for a Zeri this early to get early kills. I mean, that's one where you do the replays to do the full drawdown and be like, well, this is that was nicely done from TL.
Where's Jatt? Where's my team fight breakdown, Jatt?
Yeah,
Where's
I mean, we basically right there, we just like set up the analysts. We're like,
Just give him the softball pitch.
What?
Like, yeah. All right, Team Liquid's up 5,000 gold. There's 1 minute until the next Drake. FlyQuest already secured the first 2, but I feel like as if Team Liquid cares at all, this next Drake is theirs to lose. You're 5,500 gold ahead in open territory. What does FlyQuest even do?
well, Some of the FlyQuest members are building IKEA furniture sets right now.
Oh, hey, look, he just put the couch together.
Yeah. Oh, hey, it's completed. Okay,
Yeah.
okay.
See?
Guys, 1 item to 2. 1 item to 2 sounds way better than 0 to 2.
Well, Inspired does not want to be a part of this play any longer. Uh-oh. There's APA. How about a cougar versus a helicopter? Which one do you think wins that?
I'm going to go with the spaceship with rockets.
Yeah, that one's probably going to come out on top. And now the enemy jungler is dead for the next 20 seconds. The Drake is spawning in 15. Remember when I said earlier, FlyQuest probably can't do anything about this? Now they definitely can't do anything.
You've upgraded.
Yes, that's what we did with the pick. We upgraded.
You've increased your confidence level, huh?
Yeah. Bwipo might have put together his, IKEA furniture always has weird, his stride and breaking. But it's not going to be enough. The extra living room feng shui will not get this done as the Zeri laser comes in over the wall. The front line on Team Liquid doing their job. Yeon uses the lightning crash to just guarantee the kill on the enemy Sett. And now Impact to the killing spree. Quad and Massu trying to get away. Inspired's back alive, but he's only here in time for the funeral of his front line.
Is it wrong that I feel like all this credit should be going to TL's front line and the setup? Because, man, CoreJJ on the Alistar, UmTi on the Sejuani, it's just like, they're making the job so easy for these TL carries with the work the front line is doing and setting them up. Is just, it looks beautiful.
You know what this is like, man? You ever watch those Gordon Ramsay shows where he critiques pasta and he's always mad it's overcooked or undercooked? The carries are the pasta. That's what everybody focuses on. But, man, it's all about the meatballs. Quad! He's out. APA's making mincemeat out of him.
He was ready with the emote, too. That was good.
Yeah. No, he knew.
The Insta question mark.
That's how you max out the APM, because you're emote spamming alongside. Impact now, he should just be able to walk this off. I don't really see anything here on the Rumble. Goes down the equalizer. Ready to turn it back around if he needs to. UmTi locking up Busio here. Needs one more hit to be able to get the stun, and there it is. Busio, he's not long for this world. The Flame Spitter should just have him. First rocket misses. Doesn't even matter. Impact goes on a rampage. 7,500 gold for Team Liquid. FlyQuest just completely falling apart.
If the harpoon misses, then just hit him with the giant flamethrower.
Yeah,
that's the way to go for it.
You got a lot of options when you're 4,000 gold ahead.
Roast them down. TL taking over the Nidalee jungle. This is therapeutic for a lot of solo queue junglers.
Oh, yeah.
That have been on the receiving end of the Nidalee invades. But FlyQuest got a counterplay of their own. Can they make the trap? Let's see. APA has no teleport, so APA is not going to be able to join. Impact is running really far.
This is so difficult to do because Yeon is Zeri. He can still make a lot of distance. Quad flashing in, trying to get the kill on him to guarantee it. UmTi and CoreJJ looking to protect the president. Yeon needs to try to get away with a wall hop, I think. He jumps back over the alcove, trying to provide his own covering fire here with a zap. Core's going to die underneath the turret. Yeon's going to die back in the alcove. APA looking to stand and fight, but he ain't going to find the damage here just yet. Impact approaches from the river, but now he's going to be jumped on. Quad ready to put the bullets in him. FlyQuest, everybody's low, but nobody died. Critically, FlyQuest find a fight.
That's huge. That's huge for FlyQuest.
Oh, no, wait, hold on. APA's going in. Massu flashes out. APA still Gatling gunning him. Bwipo dies before he's able to haymake. It's a double kill of an APA. The equalizer, burning Inspired. Impact might just be taken down. That'll be a 1-for-1 with him and Quad. What is happening?
I mean, League of Legends?
Correct.
That was a fun one. Inspired burning down at the end actually is able to live there. Still very big for FlyQuest, despite TL coming back and getting some more kills. I mean, they're able to collect some shutdowns here. FlyQuest were in a really tight position, and we're actually starting this after the biggest play was made, where they got to kill Yeon. They killed the Zeri with the bonus gold on her head. APA gets to the Corki rework here with some nice bonus damage. Some more of the damage, by the way, on this patch, our live patch 14-12, was moved into the Q, the Frost Bomb. So critical there that he got the second kill, getting the Frost Bomb going in. But Rumble Ultimate also used there in that endeavor. FlyQuest, they knew, like, we have to make it scrappy and we have to get some shutdowns on some of these gold bounties, because they still have a long way to go, Flowers. It's still over 6,000 gold for them to come back, but you have to start somewhere.
When TL has a lead, the most dangerous place for them to be is the enemy red side quadrant. Because remember that's where their big throw was in game number 1. That's where they just got punished the most here in game number 3. Now Team Liquid onto the bear, and is it going to be stolen? Oh, I thought we almost had a Worlds 22 Finals Gumayushi moment with that arrow, but it doesn't happen. Now Busio here on the front line. FlyQuest maybe looking for an angle. Equalizer comes down over the top as CoreJJ wants to flank. Massu's going to be in danger. Headbutt pulled. Massu gets cooked. Bwipo is no threat on APA on his own. The Haymaker finds a little damage, but it's too little. It's too late. It's too good of a play for Team Liquid.
The team fighting with TL when they are set is just looking really good. That was too easy for them. Nice use of the range and kind of playing it slow, keeping them there. Rumble ultimate coming down from Impact. UmTi doing a very good job, and CoreJJ finding his wraparound so that TL, they get an easy pathway inside the base. There was a small speed bump when it was a strong FlyQuest, push to get that 3-person group of TL caught out away from the rest of the team, but TL immediately got corrected right back onto the winning pathway here with Baron, with the 10,000 gold lead. Game number 3, they're going to lock up 2 inhibitors at least, trying to work this one down with their Void Mites.
Now let's see if they can manage to secure this. As soon as the inhibitor drops, looks like they're going to just fall back. They might be baiting, though. I feel like if FlyQuest walks a little bit too far forward, they're walking into a 10,000 gold lead TL that will be more than happy to take the fight. There are no turrets for FlyQuest to fight under nearby. The only turrets left, the tier 3 in the bottom lane, the 2 Nexus
Dragon
turrets.
shutdown, maybe.
Yeah, Dragon coming up here in 2 seconds. Could be the angle, and it looks like Quad just waiting for the spawn, immediately going to start this up and try to burst it down before TL can answer.
So the rest of the team stopped at Raptors. I wonder if they will regret those couple of seconds on Raptors, or if they still get the burn down. Because this is an objective bounty shutdown. That is a big 500 gold base bonus. Yeah.
And UmTi comes over the wall. He's ready. The Drake ends up getting secured, and now Quad gets locked up. The equalizer, the Zeri, there's no way out. And Busio gets slowed down. CoreJJ for the follow-up, headbutt pulled. They're all just food for Yeon. Busio's gone, and it's a double kill for the Zeri on Team Liquid. 5-1 and 4. Team Liquid has a 5v3. Nexus turrets in their sight, and a TP ready to make sure that minion does not take turret damage. Headbutt pulled from another engage. Massu's out of the picture. Bwipo will continue his struggle this game. He takes one with him, but it ain't gonna matter. Nexus turrets are melting, and the Nidalee can't do anything about it. Team Liquid, the reigning champ, are starting off Summer 2024 with a win.
Not gonna lie, our first best of 3 was kind of fun, Flowers. Every game was different. Every game was unique in its own way. First one, absolute slobber knocker, going back and forth, 42 minutes almost. And then you have the FlyQuest game 2, TL game 3, with some really beautiful team fighting from them. This was a fun one.
I'm so glad that we got 3 of this. This was awesome. I sincerely hope we get more battles like this throughout summer. Team Liquid coming out looking good. Game number 2 was rough, yes, but in game number 3, they bounced back. They bounced back hard. Bwipo was set so far behind, he could never catch back up. Inspired could not get enough of an advantage on the Nidalee for it to matter. That game ended with Inspired still being 1,000 gold ahead of UmTi, but when the rest of the team is just drowning, Nidalee's not a very good lifeguard.
I just absolutely love the strategy from TL. Bwipo pulling out his counter picks, trying to catch people by surprise, and they say, fine, we will throw more people up towards top lane and just make sure that we have a fed Rumble for Rift Herald fights, which is what Rumble has always loved. Even when there were 2 Rift Heralds, he was like, great, I'll fight both Rift Herald fights.
Give me one.
More chances for ultimates. And TL, with their massive lead on their Rumble, were able to win the 4v5 while split pushing. At that point in a game, you're talking about rewinding the game tape when you're reviewing. When a play like that happens, where you win that early in the game on your weak side, a 4v5, you win that side and you got the benefits of split pushing, you should be able to wrap that one up.
Yeah, that Rift Herald fight, the equalizer, and then you explained it earlier, the follow-up for the CC. It was just beautiful. And hey, the games are all done. I think it's time for a little bit of yapping. We're joining APA and Emily on stage for an interview.
Thank you, Captain Flowers. I'm here with Captain America himself after Team Liquid's first win
What's up, Yeon?
of this split. Coming out of that, you're like, yeah, I like best of threes. That was a fun time. Obviously, facing off against Quad, you kind of gave him the welcome to NA treatment. What do you think of your lane opponent in this series?
I guess it's just for best of 3. We get to hear from
8-9 games. I never solo code him. Game 1, I solo code him when he's just running it down. So, feel bad for Jensen.
Welcome to the LCS, indeed. You know that the crowd cheers every time they see you go for the keyboard, right?
I did not know that, but it's good to know.
All right, looking at this game more holistically, FlyQuest came out with a lane swap twice in the first 2 games, even with the recent turret changes. Were you expecting that, and how do you feel like you reacted to it?
Yeah, no, we expected it. We know at MSI they were a very big lane swap team, so before going into this series, we prepped a little bit on that, and then we called it out, especially when Sett is a very easy lane swap champion to pick, because you're weak side of the tank bot lane, run top lane to whoever your top laner is, and just, yeah.
Mm-hmm. How are you enjoying your life playing Tristana Corki and Tristana Corki only?
I mean, honestly, those champs are really fun. You can always just W forward and intentionally feed, which is what I was doing in game 2, because honestly, I should have carried that game. But other than that, it's I'm more of a fan of those champions than the boring mages.
All right, cool. And then I really did want to ask you about MSI, because obviously I think TL had a pretty good showing, maybe not as far as you would have liked to go, right? So what did you learn at MSI that you feel like you could bring back to the LCS?
I think the most tangible thing I can talk about from MSI is side laning. We had the pleasure of facing G2 a lot, even though they're struggling a little bit in LEC. But G2 is a very, very good side lane team, and they Cass specifically taught me a tremendous amount of how to side lane well. And I think that even showed a little bit today. Even in game 2 when we lost, we got both the side lane tier 2 turrets, and we were pressuring side lanes. So yeah, I just learned a lot about side laning from MSI.
Nice. Well, I hope you can take that into your series, rest of your series for LCS. Thank you so much for taking the time, and congratulations again. And we are going to toss it back to the lounge to get ready for Cloud9 versus Dignitas.
Ready. Dude, why'd you put your new rig in the basement?
Didn't you hear? Bill's a good gillionaire now.
Basically, my new connection is so strong I can game anywhere. Check it out. We've got Gamer Rocker, Gamer Floaty, Gamer Couch.
Whoa.
It's got wheels.
Gamer Bench, Gamer Throne, and Gamer Mower.
What's that?
It's hard to game while walking downstairs.
I get it.
That's smart.
Live like a gagillionaire with low latency everywhere. AT&T Fiber with AllFi.
Red Bull gives you wings.
Oh, yeah.
What's up, guys? Got Yeon with me. Special best of 3. How are you feeling about best of 3s overall now that you were able to take FlyQuest to 3 games total?
To be honest, BO3s are pretty fun. It's not unfortunate that we didn't lose, but if we lost, I would have said BO1s are better.
Yeah, that's how it goes?
Yeah.
So overall, I'm interested more so in the journey coming into this one. Actually, just let's talk about FlyQuest first, because the first series was to FlyQuest, a team that you took down in the finals. I felt like you had some heated words over them. Is there anything about FlyQuest, because I guess they have the respect that you guys are a top 2 team, against them? Anything to say about them as a team?
I think they're a very solid team, especially when you're starting a season with a new player coming in, like Quad. Obviously, we probably have the advantage over them because we've been working for a lot more than them. So I think they're still good, but just need a time to mesh probably.
Sounds good. And just a question towards you. Question about being able to take a break, because you guys just came back from MSI, and not a lot of time between then and the start of the summer. So what has been the process for you in particular coming into this split?
To be honest, I've been doing nothing really. Not really a kind of a break from solo queue as much, but I was just playing random games like Arena and ARAM. That's pretty much it. Besides that, just solo queue.
Sounds good to me. Solid break, makes a lot of sense to me. I'm going to send it right back to you guys as we look into the next series. It's going to be C9 versus Dignitas. Thank you.